Top of two. Go for it.
The Rainbows, right?
Oh my god, yeah, it's Rainbows.
Okay. I had a feeling it was Rainbows. So shout out to Rainbow. We're gonna have some real talk. Real talk. Hashtag real talk. So.
Because every other chat is a lie.
Yeah. So,
Fuck Japan!
So, Rainbow asked, how do you deal with being pushed out of your comfort zone? Am I right about that? Is that what it said?
How do you feel being pushed out of your comfort zone? If we're going to have a hashtag real talk.
Okay.
Period.
So...
WBT. Oh no, not the real talk.
So, I actually really liked that. Because, I mean, what I came up with, like, they didn't relate to Brett because Brett didn't know what I was talking about.
He gave no fucks about John.
Well, I mean, John didn't really say anything.
Oh, I had no idea what
Yeah, see, so John didn't even know.
I never even liked that show.
He didn't even bother
I didn't
asking.
even like that show.
Well, I kind of had it. I opened it up to the floor. I wanted to see if anybody said anything. If John knew anything about it, I would have been like, "Oh, fuck you, Brett. We're just gonna talk about it."
No, I had no idea.
That's okay, but I kind of liked it because I'm one that likes to be pushed out of his comfort zone, and I like pushing people out of their comfort zone. So, this topic's actually kind of cool. So, how I deal with being pushed out of my comfort zone, I deal with it very well because I guess it has to do with like my church. Like my church pushes me out of my comfort zone a lot. Like it was one time I'm hanging out with my friend Frank, and that's Caleb's dad. And I've been friends with Frank since I was 13 years old, and he was like, I don't know, in his 30s. And he's just been a really good, close friend of mine. And I just one day I was like, hey Frank, like, we're just having coffee, with a couple guys, and I'm like, hey Frank, I feel like I'm supposed to go pray for this guy or just a random dude, and I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm supposed to. And he's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, what? And he just stands up and he starts walking over to the guy who I pointed to, and I'm just like, okay, this is happening, and I can't stop it. So I start walking with him, and it was one of the coolest things that had ever happened to me, And a lot of those moments have happened like that. Like another one. I'm sitting in Stewart's just getting coffee, and I'm about to get back in my car and go to work. And just something in my head's like, hey, pay for the guy's coffee behind you. Like that's a super thing, like super comfort zone for some people. Like that's like, oh no, this guy's gonna think that I'm trying to make him look like he can't pay for his coffee or whatever. I mean, he was a cop, but still, like, it was just like, no, just do it. And I don't think I have any hesitation. I don't think I have any fear. So I just do things, and I do think of consequences, but it's kind of like, as long as there's definitely gonna be a good outcome to it, and like you're doing it out of love, then it's kind of like my comfort zone is like not existent there. As long as I know that I'm not hurting anybody and I'm trying to be a good Samaritan or be a loving person, like I'm okay with it. Like the other day, before I went to Camp of the Woods, there was a guy who walked into our dealership and said, hey, how far is it from Saratoga and how do I get there? And I pointed him in the right direction, and he literally started walking. He was walking to Saratoga, and we were in Burnt Hills. That's a good, 30-minute drive.
So that's a
long day. Yeah, that's like a 2 to 3 hour walk, and it was almost 8 o'clock. So he would have been back to Saratoga at midnight, right?
Close.
Yeah. So...
That's a waste.
Yeah, so I mean, I was like, nah, I can't have that. And he just looked like a young kid who just fell asleep on the bus and accidentally missed his stop. So, out of the kindness of my heart, I just drove up and told him to get in, and I drove him to where he was going. Like, for some people, that's that's a lot.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like, I guess I just see myself as a selfless person, not trying to like be.
It's
know,
very selfish of you.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like boastful or
You
anything.
know what?
No.
I'm awesome.
I'm not trying to be boastful, but it's kind
No,
of like
I know. I
yeah,
hear what you
it's
mean.
like if you just like I don't care about myself sometimes. Like I care about other people too much, you know? Like especially like with Brett and his stream, like I want him to succeed and I'm going to do everything in my power to help him succeed. Even if that means like giving up my job, you know? Like I want to help him succeed. I mean, I might not go that far, but like
Better
that
not. This was plenty. Don't.
But no, it's kind of like that's why I gave the money I gave
Yeah,
on
fucking
on
crazy person.
yeah. I mean, me and Dio, me and Dio had been talking for like 3 weeks on like what we were gonna do. I was like, Dio, if you want to come out, I will fly you out here. Like, do you want to come out? He's like, I can't get the time off.
And then he fucking middle fingered all of us.
Yeah.
That fucking asshole.
Yeah.
They do this big donation, John. Oh yeah, you were here.
I was.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, I'm here at your door. Fuck you. It was.
So
Sorry.
I mean that's just me. I have a big heart. So like my comfort zone, I don't care about my comfort zone because my heart's so big for people that I'd rather see them smile. And when I see them smile, it makes me smile. It makes me happy. And it just brings out I don't know, it just brings out something different, you know? And that's just my whole life. Like, I always want to make people happy. And then it's not to the point of, like, oh, I need to please people, but I want people to be happy. So, if I can do something to make them happy, and it's out of my comfort zone, then yeah, absolutely, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like, obviously, you're being pushed up against something you don't like. And I think it depends on how someone not instigates it, but like tries to motivate you to do it, per se.
Yeah.
So for, like, if it's a small thing, like, hey, you should try this ride, or hey, you should, try this game, activity, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think that's okay, and I think when those challenges arise, like, obviously it's up to you how your comfort level is and how you want to deal with it. I think people need to be respectful of your limitations, though. We talked about this briefly on stream when these topics came up earlier in the week. If someone keeps pushing you to do something, even though you've given them the answer of no. Like, I get the, hey, let's go on this ride, man, and you're like, oh, no, I'm a little nervous or whatever. Nah, man, you can do it. Like,
Yeah.
pump up. But, like, if you've given me a stern
No, I'm not doing it.
answer
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
and you're set,
Yeah.
but I keep, come on, man, dude.
No, dude, listen, I told you I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that person.
Yeah.
So, if someone is trying to get you out of your comfort zone like that, fuck that. Do you. You know what you're comfortable with and things like that. You have to stand by your morals. When you're ready, if you want to be ready, then you can tackle whatever hurdle or thing is in front of you.
Yeah.
As for other challenges, obviously they still have somewhat of an obstacle in front of them. How do I tackle them? Very carefully, yeah. Like, if it's okay, you guys all know I am the lovely social butterfly of the internet. IRL, that is a different story. Now, is it better than it was? Yes, but like, I'm not gonna just go up and still spark a conversation.
I look up to this guy.
Guys, I'll tell you this much. There's sometimes I come over and he will one-word me. I'm not kidding. He is one-worded conversation with me. Hey, what's up, dude? Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
Down in my house.
it's almost like bipolarism. Sometimes there's days I'm like, yeah, let's go, all out
dude,
there.
there's sometimes I think you're like fucking pissed.
And
at
I'm
me.
not. It's just I'm neutral. It's just like I take after my dad. Like, now,
Your dad
granted,
is very.
he's hard to read. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he is in a bad mood. But no, there's other times where like, no, he's just present. He's not upset or into it. He's engaged. but like he has.
When he's watching
The
WrestleMania,
short-
he gets
yeah,
into
he
it.
gets into it. When he's into something, he's into something. Game days we're playing Halo, he's into it.
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania, he's into it. You know.
Oh, trust me,
Things
this
like
last
that.
WrestleMania, he definitely was into it. You definitely heard what he had to think, what he was thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, no, I just think like there's certain times where you express yourself, and there's other times where it's not needed per se. Like you can have that cool demeanor, but enough about social me-ness, or at least in that aspect. I'm still getting over this hurdle of at work they want me to be more
Social.
sociable with parents and things like that.
I can understand
And
why they
I-
would want you to.
Once again, I'm getting better at it. But like, I still have that mental battle going on in my head. I'm like, what do I even talk about? Like, I get the, hey, how are you? How's your day? How's your kid? How's this? How's that? But like,
Like I get,
like if I don't have any
like, I
place to drive this conversation,
like being a car salesman, like that's my job. Like I
Mhm.
have to get to know people because getting to know people makes it easier on them because like when somebody comes in to buy a car, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to buy a $30,000 car or a $10,000. Like it's a lot of money for some people. I mean, to me, it's just numbers. I see them every day. But to some people, you know, they only do it like 5 times in their entire life. So you got to kind of ease them into be their friend. I mean, not like be their friend, but like say, hey, it's all right. They're just numbers, you know. I'm gonna do everything I can to get you to the right number you want to be at. So just calm down. So like you gotta just find stuff to talk about. So kind of like what I do is like, you know, like when I'm talking to people, I ask them where they live because I have to ask their address.
Right.
Because I need to know their zip code so I know what sales tax to tax them and put it into the deal. So I'll say, you know, just stuff like, have you lived here your whole life? And they'll tell me yes or no. And then if they tell me no, oh, well, where were you before?
yeah, you're asking intelligent questions based on their answers.
Exactly.
Which is actually what we talked about in work yesterday,
Mhm.
which sparked my thing, and I talked about in the vlog in a little bit too, because
Mhm.
I'm like, I want to engage more in Twitch
Yeah.
and chat. Not that like the audience and I are disconnected. I feel like we have a very tight knit 8
Yeah.
or 10 that constantly tune in.
But you want
But like
more,
sometimes during the stream, it can
yeah.
taper off, you know,
Yeah.
after the beginning and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So you want to have more intelligent conversations.
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, like parents are one thing. I think I can work towards that because
Yeah.
I've definitely seen growth in those areas already.
Yeah, and I mean, it took me half a year to really get there. So
Mhm.
I mean, it took work. So it's not like an overnight thing.
Yeah, I think it's the random person over there. Now we make this joke all the time, or at least I make that joke.
Hey girl.
Hey girl! no!
Ooh, I
I'll
got a hey
never-
girl for you.
I'll never do
I got a
that.
hey girl for
I'm
you.
just gonna be like, nope, no cake.
like a Boston, the
Boston.
the one that was in the coffee shop across the street. Remember? We were walking back. She was sitting alone.
You say hey girl.
Remember that?
No, I don't think I was with you.
Blonde? Yeah, we just came back from the restaurant.
Which restaurant?
One across the street from the hotel.
Yeah, I didn't go to P.F. Chang's with you guys.
No,
I went to
They went there.
World of Beer.
That's where we went.
We went to World.
We were on our way back.
You guys went to a
World
coffee
of
shop?
Beer.
It was like
It was somewhere. I don't know,
Night.
she was sitting. But there was a
At
hey girl
night.
situation.
Oh.
You were like.
oh yeah, she was sitting by
Maybe
herself
my timing-
in P.F. Chang's. I'm like,
P.F.
hey
Chang's,
girl, you by yourself? But you know,
And
and then we walked back and there was a dude. It's
There was
like,
a dude
oh
there.
okay, well good thing I didn't go in there making an ass of myself.
Because
You do the hey girl.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, there was a couple anime Bostons where I was like, you know what? Damn it. Yeah, there was that one in the Sailor Moon panel that I went to.
I didn't even
for-
know you went there until the vlog came
For
out.
Lady Killer
I
Bunny.
was like, when
Did you do that?
When I went
Did
out
he
on
go
my own
here?
to go explore.
But you were always good. Like,
You guys went to the orchestra thing. or
we were
whatever.
like, "Where's Brett?" And then like 2 minutes later, he'd be like, "Hey,
Hey, what's up? I'd always just like, hey, how's it going?
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have went to the Sailor Moon panel with you.
It was cool. I went because free merch and swag for Lady Killer Bunny. She's a big fan.
Well, no, I mean, as growing up as a kid, like I watched.
It,
Sailor
like,
Moon.
don't get me wrong. I watched a bit of Sailor Moon, but like, oh god.
I'll be
that
honest.
panel.
I watched it.
Glitter. I'm like, oh god, I am in the wrong place right now.
I'll be honest. I watched it as a kid because Dragon Ball Z or Outlaw Star was right after it, so it's just like might as well, you
Yeah.
know.
But anywho, back to so I went to that panel, and of course, your boy was on his own. And
So you did a hey girl?
So I went to the end of the row, sat down, waiting. I noticed a cute girl and her friend in line. I was like, huh,
Hey, girl.
she's cute. Hey girl in my head. And guess who sat next to me?
That
Like
cute girl.
directly next to me, nose gabs. I'm like,
Hey, girl.
You know what you should have
Come
done?
on!
You should have shifted your chair over and put a gap in between.
no, excuse me.
And then see what happens.
Excuse me.
You're like, hey, yo, can I grab this chair back here? I know I'm on the end, but I want to separate myself from this girl here.
She's too cute.
And then
Can't do
see
it.
if she just scoot right over him.
There was that, and you know.
No, it's just after that moment, it's like, hey, girl.
So like, yeah, there's situations like that. Not all of the flirtatious manner, but like just going up to some random person and being like starting a conversation with them. Mm-mm.
Like, I'll tell you this much. That's hard for me.
Mm-mm.
And I'm a very talkative person.
Mm.
And I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people. But that's even hard for me.
But you almost need a goal.
Yeah, you
To
gotta
do
like.
it.
There's something there's
An
something you're
objective.
looking to. Yeah,
Like,
like for me at work,
Right.
they want a car.
yes.
So I need
you
to get to that objective.
Right, you need to get to that objective. Where, like with you and the parents, I'm sure like
There's an objective.
It gets yeah, but I'm sure it gets to a point there where you're like, you don't necessarily need to know much about you guys. I need to engage with your children and teaching them, and I'm sure sometimes you might need to tell a parent, hey, your child isn't doing
Johnny sucks.
yeah.
No, Johnny doesn't suck. Johnny doesn't listen.
Johnny doesn't listen.
And I'm about to
Tell
whoop
that.
Johnny butt.
boot him out of here. Right, but like, who's that? But like, even right, like you're in sales,
Mhm.
you talk to people.
Yep.
Sorry, but like,
No, I
you
get
went out
it.
to- you went out to California by yourself.
Lady Killer Man, your kid's a little shit.
Yeah.
Your kid's an asshole. Says
An asshole.
I can't flat out say that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Get him
Trust
out of
me.
my-
Trust me. As much as I want to say that to some customers, like, listen, you are a butthead. You are a butthole. Like, no, I can't do that.
I mean, like, yeah, I can see how, dealing with uncomfortable situations, especially when you're more or less forced to based on your job,
Yeah.
is very, very difficult to do. Let alone being like, yo, I'm in Boston this weekend.
By myself.
I don't really know. Theoretically, you were by yourself because
Theoretically.
you didn't know.
See, that would be out of my
any
comfort
the
zone.
stuff. You didn't know nearly very nearly none of the stuff that we
What's
were all
this?
talking about. Yeah,
Anime.
like, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Yeah, it's like,
What's this? What's they're talking
why
about?
is this cool?
Why is everybody screaming Marco
Wait a minute.
Polo?
Wait a minute. This reminds me of a Disney movie.
What's
Reminds me
this?
of Jack. It reminds me of Jack the Skeleton.
Nightmare
this?
Before
What's this?
Christmas.
Yeah, Nightmare. What's this? What's this?
But yeah, I mean, not to take over
No, you're
you
good.
speaking.
This is it. No.
No, yeah, but seriously, like,
Because he was just going on a point.
I'm agreeing with his
Uh,
point. Like that's out of my comfort zone just to go on my own and do that by
Well, see,
myself.
And when we first went, I mean, this is the first time Brent went. When me and one of the OG guys,
Boxord.
Boxford, went. We went there and we are like, this is terrifying. We're going to see a bunch of people there, ugly, nasty, disgusting, people that like anime, weebs and stuff. And we're like, we like it, but we don't like it that much. And we go there and we were terrified. And there was this huge ton of people there, and we're like, oh my god. This is the third time we went this past time. And Boxford and I, we were going back, I don't know if you know, we were like, oh, this place? Yeah, it's over here. And we would just lead the charge.
Mhm.
And there was 10 of us in tow.
Yep.
And Brett got it. Brett's very, along with his planning nature, he was like, oh, I'm going to be here. Oh, I know where this is. So he knows. But like, one of the other people we were with,
Oh boy. Funny story.
nope, not going to name names. One of the other people we were with, there's two of them. One of them didn't like to not know where they were going, right? And they, at one point, tried to kind of take charge a little bit, and they were wrong in saying, oh, we need to go here. And they also complained a lot. So, it was frustrating because it's like, you're there, you're probably at your comfort zone being around those people, You just got to relax, and it's hard to kind of see that, and being that I was there, whatever, 2 to 3 years ago by myself. But dealing with out of comfort zone pushes.
No, I know. Pancake Minute. Sorry, Pancake Minute comment. She's like, I'm really digging Brett's Invisible Soda.
Oh, is it? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
Sorry.
Next time you just gotta get a green screen wrap. I just put it around whatever.
Yeah, you'll never know.
You'll never know. Drinking invisible.
But yeah. So I don't know. It's hard for me personally, to deal with uncomfortable situations, at comfort zone dealios, because like I'll be the first, much like John. I'll be the first one to be like, I am selfishly a selfless person, right? I'd be like, I'll go out of my way to, whatever, do whatever for anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when it comes to them not having an issue or not having a problem that I may or may not need to deal with, it's like I have no use for you. That makes any sense, right? I have no reason to, be talking. Like today, I went to a wedding, and I only knew 3 people there.
The dream.
And what?
The dream. I had one of those
Dream.
in California. I was like, oh god.
I only knew 3 people there,
It sucked.
and there was like no reason for me to be talking to anybody because it's like I
Don't know you.
don't know you, and it's like there's no point to it. And it's like, well, in some situations you don't need to do that. You don't need to talk to people,
Amen.
right? You
Hallelujah. Sorry.
you don't need to.
Man, when I get nervous, I talk to people.
Well, see, that's my so my inverse is like I'll just sit there quietly while and I'm usually with somebody who is very more talkative than myself.
Yep.
So that makes me look even less talkative than my normal self would be. Now, if I were to just get to know you very slightly, like the one time I was here, and a couple years, 3 years ago, back when I was with
Annie.
with somebody else. No,
Oh, sorry.
when
No
I
names.
was with
I know,
somebody else,
yeah.
and they were here, and we were talking with Dio and his wife.
Dio and his wife. Yeah.
And I
About
had no idea who.
Anime.
Anime, exactly. And the person I was with, and she was way more talkative, very loud. But she was talking to her like nothing. They didn't know each other. They knew nothing about each other.
Yep.
See, I can do that.
Yeah, and I was talking to Dio about like little bits and stuff, and like every time if I'm over here, I'm over here, every 6 months or whatever, during your game things, and Billy's here or whoever else that I honestly don't know their name until I see them again.
Yeah.
But they're all here, and it's like, oh hey, John. It's like, oh hey, guy, and they're like, I'm so and so, and I'm like, oh hey, guy,
But the funny
It's
thing
like,
is, they
cool.
know you.
They know me well because I'm the best at Halo. But at the same time, like it's weird. You'd think that I'd be talkative and know how to talk to people because I've talked to people almost every single day for the past 6 years working where I work, customer service, just being like, hey, how can I help you? This and that and everything else. But once you shut that off, it's like,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm nervous to. I just don't think about it. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened to you, like in California, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't think about, going places every single day
No.
and being like, I'm gonna
It took me
talk
a
to
while to
people.
get out
Right.
to explore. I was like, what do I
And then
do?
before you realize that you're there for 6 months and you're like, what have
Maybe
I
getting out of my room
what
is
have I done?
Good
Yeah, but you
idea.
don't.
What
but-
have I done?
It's not like you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't even realize that you're not doing something that you could be doing, and
Dude, when you said you were moving out to California, I was like, wait, what? That's so not like you.
Yeah,
Where did this
I was
come from?
I had to make a change, guys.
I was like, where is this coming from?
you did, and like, but it's weird, like comfort zone. I mean, it's we're kind of associated to talking to people, right? But not to harken back to my question, but the whole traveling thing, like. I was like,
Relates to comfort zone, yeah.
It's like back in like November, December, I was like, I really want to go to Toronto. For some reason. And we ended up not doing that because we wanted to go see my grandmother. Better choice.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it's like, my sister has been to Poland. My brother is going to be doing a cruise during the summer for his school all around Europe and stuff like that. And down in like the Bahamas and stuff. And it's like, I'm just going to be here doing my
Nothing.
work, doing nothing, right? And it's like, ugh. And I'm like, if I could take, a 3-day weekend using my vacation. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go up to Montreal? Do I want to go over to Boston? Do I want to go down to the city? I have a place in the city I can stay for free. Boston's cheap. Montreal has really good food.
Boston's cheap. Where?
Outside of Boston.
Oh, okay. I was about to
Take
say.
the
The
train.
street.
Yeah, rent's like $4,500, bud, in Boston.
But like,
I'm kidding.
in visiting and traveling,
Yeah.
I know Boston well enough that I can just, take an Uber to a train and then take the train in. Brett did that the entire time.
Simplicity.
Oh yeah, it's so easy. But that's my comfort zone thing. Even like when we were in Boston, I went to Starbucks by myself.
Yep.
Like that was weird to me because I would never. I'm in this city, and it was a block and a half away from where you guys were, and I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? Everybody was in there, all city folk, doing their thing, and I'm like,
See, that's another thing too. When you finally do overcome it, it feels so great because I feel the same way about San Francisco, kind of.
Mhm.
I've been there twice now for Kind of Funny Live. I plan on going a third year as long as I don't get bucked. But like, not that I'm like super. Oh, I know where to go, this and that. But like, I feel comfortable walking those streets and just walking. Like both trips, I've Ubered maybe the first day, maybe a little bit of the second day, and the remainder of the trip, it's all walking.
Yep.
And not that they're like short distance walks, like it's a 10-minute walk or whatever. Like some of them are like half hour to an hour. I'm walking across the city.
Yep.
And it's just because I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Walk
you're
this.
more comfortable.
Yeah, I feel more
And
comfortable.
it's like, and I think it's like, that's, like before, like I said, I went from going up to Canada. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I do it. I do that.
At least you don't talk about Steve.
Yeah, you don't say that.
I went up, I went up, I got frisked and car searched.
Nice.
I flubbed up my story a little bit, and they were like, no, we don't trust you.
Fucking Canadians.
But I went there. Don't talk about it.
Do it.
I went there.
Oh.
Nothing.
Oh, that kind of
No.
search.
And
I'm just kidding.
just
I'm just.
Wait, what are we talking
Stretch
about?
on the glove here. No, it wasn't that.
Sir, I need to check the asshole.
Powder.
That would maybe I would have been like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back home.
I'm just gonna go back. Don't even worry about it. I don't want to go anymore.
Don't touch me there.
No, sir.
It's
Now
not-
you're here.
It's not
We're
working.
doing this.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
It's not.
That's a comfort zone that I don't even think I would
Talk
be
about
ready
going out of your
for.
comfort zone.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
you
I
don't-
would be out.
You
Yeah.
don't go into my comfortable zone, buddy. Gloves or not.
Comfort zone.
gloves, lube or not.
Y'all are lewd. It went there.
This is hashtag real talk.
My bad.
No, I took it there. I took it there.
no,
We all
no,
say
no.
that.
But no, but like I went there, right, and it was a Thursday, and then I stayed overnight, and then I left that Friday night, and then I had work the next morning on Saturday.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well,
It sucks that you had to work that Saturday.
yeah, it kind of did. And I left, and I'm like, and as I was leaving,
Shut up, Fred.
Sorry, lady said you guys are making a beautiful scene. Sorry.
so as I was there, I didn't realize I was like in a different country completely. Right, I didn't tell anybody that I went there. Well, I told some people, but like my mother and sister, I did not tell. So I woke up in the hotel Friday morning with text messages. Where are you? I'm like, I was half asleep, right? I was dead, listening to some French Animal Planet that was going on.
That's awesome.
And I was like, and it was a comfortable bed, and I was like, okay, I was gonna text him. I'm in Canada. And they were like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, oops.
What?
But I didn't realize I was there until I was leaving where I was, and I was like, I'm here. This is so cool. And I'm like, there's so much more stuff I could have done. I was only there for a day.
But still.
But it was a 4-hour drive up there. But it's like, I didn't care. I was like, oh. And it's like, I do want to go back there. You know, there are places to, museums and stuff to visit, and
Yeah.
Hitler's car is up there.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think his car is in a war museum.
No
It's
way.
It's in Ottawa. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
pretty cool.
So I'm like,
I actually might. You get a group
do
to
you want to go?
Maybe.
Because no,
Do you want to go to Canada?
No.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
But-
I've always wanted to go to Canada. I just don't have my passport. I'll probably get my enhanced
get your
license.
enhanced. Get your enhanced. We should go. Make it a trip.
My friend Bill.
You guys
that
have
I work-
fun.
My
You
friend
can go too. Get your enhanced license.
I was just making a joke. Making plans over the time. You guys have fun.
And watch. When we go, it's when it happens.
Yeah.
Bend over, sir.
We're
We'll
just
plug it. We'll plug it.
I'm gonna look at John and be like, I hate you.
Guys, we're in Canada right now. John's about to get up the ass. Oh, sorry.
You're next,
Put the phone
Brett.
away, my bad.
You're next, Brett.
No, it was
I'm
pretty.
sorry.
It was terrifying when they came. They were like, they said stop at the stop sign. Well, I stopped at the wrong stop sign, so I almost just kept going through. Yeah. And they're like, sir, and I'm like, yes, and they're like, that stop sign. I'm okay, and they're like, just pull back.
Ah, crap.
But it was all good. They let me through. Then I realized, as clean as my car was, I didn't realize how dirty it actually was. Like, because they had to go through everything.
Yeah, they got.
They went through everything, and they were very respectful. But they went through everything, and they're like, "What's this?" And I'm like, and they're like,
drugs.
"No, it wasn't
My God.
drugs, but
Couldn't explain it.
it was embarrassing
Ow.
to say the least to have this police officer woman going through my things." Anyways, but
I'm
the
thinking
next-
of like 10 different things.
the
and I
next
shouldn't
weekend.
be.
I'll tell you after. The next weekend, I went to New York City.
shit.
I'll tell. I'm
No,
gonna tell these
just
guys.
I'm not telling these
Oh,
guys.
show.
The next weekend, the very next weekend, I went to New York City for something. I don't know, my aunt's birthday or whatever, and we all went down there, and we were walking the streets because my cousin lives down there, and I have a free place to stay. And-
Lady said it was a fleshlight.
Lady,
it was okay.
Lady Killer Money. How?
It wasn't a flashlight.
Oh my.
Okay.
That's a little too much. I mean, when you drive, it's
You're good. You just moved.
really hard to
my.
Oh
my.
unless you can steer with your knees or whatever. But
That's beside the point.
That hesitation says Lady Killer Money.
On me? On capitals too.
Shut up, live studio audience.
Oh my.
Oh
my. Oh my. Wait.
no, but it was
Something else.
And they asked me questions upon finding these things. They were asking me questions. They're like,
No
"Are
more
you?"
drinking.
And I'm like,
No.
I'm not gonna go on that. This is and this is the
Oh my.
this is the most random podcast. But I mean, hey,
Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh my. You should just label this whole podcast. Oh my.
Oh my. It's alright. At least we're being white today. That was Hydra.
Yeah, well, I was like, what are you trying to do?
We did the Black Panther thing. Sorry, I don't know why I did the Hail Hydra too. Maybe that's the point of Infinity War. Maybe Black Panther's all part of the fucking Hydra. Sorry.
oh, I haven't seen any of those movies.
What?
I've seen Black
ruined it.
Panther.
Infinity War.
You ruined it.
I don't care. I'll just go home right now.
Brett broke.
It's fine.
Oh, he's
But
really
yeah,
broken.
and I did 3 big trips within a month, and it's like, holy crap, that is insane, and it was a lot of fun.
For some people, that's like a big, big thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
some people are like, I don't even want to leave like this city. Like,
Yeah.
just imagine like going.
Well, it's like
To
some
another
some people are
country.
like, oh, I don't want to go 40 minutes down to the mall, right, from where we're at. It's like, I don't want to go 40 minutes down to the mall tonight because it's too far. It's
Yep.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'll drive. I've driven out to Massachusetts, right, with just to go with a lady friend of mine. We went out to just get Chick-fil-A and
Yep.
back.
Just to
We
get
walked-
Chick-fil-A.
Yes,
Yep.
we literally.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Same-
it's as simple as a thing as that.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
same person I was talking about before.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went out. We were like, "Hey, you want to go Chick-fil-A? Yeah, okay. Oh, let's get breakfast. We got to go now then." So I picked her up at like 6:30 in the morning, right?
Just to go to Chick-fil-A.
she
like,
snuck out of the house, and
ooh,
we went there.
oh my.
And like we drove all the way there, got our food, and it's like, okay, and we drove all the way back, and then we just friggin' fell asleep. But like it was like, oh, it was like, why are you going all the way out there? It's like, well, you shut up. It's like,
Why does it matter?
You're people that don't want to go 25 minutes to the mall
Yeah.
because it's boring. It's like, so you're gonna sit at home while it's boring, like
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. But so like comfort zone thing, I think the more you push yourself subtly to the things you want to do ultimately, like you went out to California, you want to go again. I'm sure if you'd be like, oh, I want to go to North Carolina for family or what have you, it's like, oh, nothing would probably stop you from being like, oh, I want to do whatever.
Yep.
Go wherever, do things,
Yeah.
And like that'll tailor your, if you go places that you want to go, that's a big thing to do in terms of the comfort zone thing, but that might tailor your whole like, oh, I need to talk to somebody and ask for directions.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be like, I don't feel like using my GPS. I want to talk to somebody. Or say you're lost. Like my friend and I went to Montreal last year. We got lost, and our phones were almost dead, and we just didn't know. And we asked this guy, where are we and where is this? And he was like, oh, here. And he was like, oh, thank you for enjoying our city. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet of you, man.
Fucking Canadians.
And, damn Canadians. We went up to Montreal and back in one day. We literally left at 6 in the morning, went up there, and then came back by like 7 or 8 at night, and we still wanted to do things after that. And it's like, that's so cool to me to do that sort of stuff. But yet I can't do the whole hey girl thing.
Hey girl!
I can't go somewhere and be like, oh, hey, what's up?
Nope.
Dude, lady, whoever.
Person,
It could be a
lady.
guy. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not.
just some
I don't talk
random
to people. But
person.
yet I'll drive and I'll drive and I'll meet people for the first time. Go to a bar and but
I did that last night, actually. Actually, quite honestly, like I was pushed out of my comfort zone because I've never been to Caroline Street. I've only been I've never been to Caroline Street since last night was my first time actually going to Caroline
What?
Street.
Damn,
I've
I
been
like
to the
going.
Putnam Den, and I've had such a terrible experience. The person I went with abandoned me, so I was like, never doing this again.
people frequently abandon people. As
Yeah,
Carolina.
so
As
I'm
a
like-
non-alcoholic, I love Caroline Street.
No, so
Why
like,
am I asking? Do you drink?
yeah. I
Okay.
I mean,
You can go out to Caroline Street and have a drink and be like,
Yeah, like
oh,
last night, like we went to the Bourbon Room. My friend Bill that I work with,
Never heard of that.
and it's brand new. It's pretty
okay.
new. It's right across the street from Pizza 7.
Oh,
So we went there. I had I had like some rum, and then I had a
some
Jack.
more rum.
No, I had a Jack. I had a
So
Jack
much
Club.
rum you
I
didn't
had
remember.
had a Jack Club, and it was actually really, really good. I was like, I can't have another one of these without eating anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there with my friend Bill, and he's like, yeah, our two friends that we know are coming. Oh, cool. Oh, hey, by the way, so-and-so invited 2 people that she works with. And I hear they're the ladies. I was like, oh, really?
Hey, girl!
This is my hey girl stuff.
Sorry.
And so like we're just having a good time, and it's just kind of like the 2 girls get there, and they are women, and they're both very, very beautiful, and it's kind of just like in my mind I'm kind of like, all right, you know what? After my last experience, I'm not looking for anything. I don't want anything to do with anything like that. So I'm just gonna kind of just be me and not talk to them. I mean, I'll talk to them, but
Best you can do.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, how are you? Not hey girl. I'm just
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm John.
I'm
Let's
here.
hang out like
You're
normal
here.
people do.
Yeah, and actually, quite honestly, like that made it more fun.
It works so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I got to know both of them, and like me and the one girl had quite a bit in common. Like she was a Miami fan, my dad was a Miami fan, and like we actually connected on that level. And like her friend, and the 2 people, me and my friend Bill, we're all hanging out this upcoming Thursday to watch the draft. And it's just like that all happened because we went out for drinks,
Yep.
and then we went to Harvey's to eat together. And it was just kind of like one person was like, so what are we doing next? And then like me and Bill are like, oh well, we got to work in the morning, so we're gonna go home. And then that same girl is just like, yeah, I wanted to go home anyways as well. So we just ended the night there. But it was literally the most fun I've had in a long time, just getting to know 2 new people.
Yeah.
It's also it's more. I mean, along with that, like for me, my problem is if I go to the Caroline Street and I'm with the people that I know. He knows who they are. People that I go with are more like, why don't you talk to people? that's the one thing that's like, all right, I'm just gonna shove myself in this corner even more. You know what I mean? 'Cause
You know what? You know
That's
what?
the thing,
You know what my
asking the
question would be?
question.
You know what
Yeah.
my question would be? Why don't you introduce me to people?
But
Well, that I
that's
know
the thing
aren't.
I was talking about. Like people keep pushing.
Right, but it's not
That
even
just makes you
it's not,
want to
it's
do it
just
less.
even that question. It's like, you know, what are you about? You know what I mean? Why
I
why
hate
aren't
that
you
every
talking?
time when someone asks me why I don't drink.
Yeah.
Do I need an answer?
No.
But
No.
yeah.
You choose not to drink, you
can,
choose not to
know,
drink.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, so long as you can, have fun with people. I mean, and if
And have a
being
good time
around-
with being responsible.
and if being around people who drink don't if you not drinking, being around people who drink while they're drinking
Yeah.
while you're out. No, because
I
I remember a particular story you were telling me about how you drove somebody home and they threw up out of your car
Yep.
and you got pulled over.
Yep.
And he just wanted to make sure everybody was okay. And you were
Hashtag
like,
uncomfortable.
Yep. And good guy Brett for making sure this
Brett's
person
a nice guy.
didn't
tries.
throw up in his own car.
Oh, we better not have.
But like, if that makes you uncomfortable, by all means, you can see yourself out of that situation. I
Yep.
feel like, for the most part, you probably don't know very many people that would be like, "Oh, come on, why not? Why?"
Right.
Bleh. I feel like you'd be somebody who'd be like, "All right, like,
I need more wine.
but and it's like,
I feel like she'd do that to you if you went out with them.
but
They're-
If she got too drunk, that
listen,
is.
listen,
yeah, like when I didn't drink, I would be at friends' houses, and they'd be like, "Drink, John coffee," and I'd be like, "Yeah." It was disgusting coffee, but it was cool. Also,
was
the nice thing about being a DD in general is you get so much free stuff.
That's news to me.
No, go be a DD on New Year's.
Oh.
They give out free coffee at
Okay.
Stewart's. They give out hot dogs.
Oh,
for
you
free.
mean that? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
I'm sorry.
they-
No, I haven't.
Boiled
People
with
take- yeah, people
free
take care of
soda.
you.
You get free soda.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you might need to put an arm around somebody to make sure they're not going to die. But
important stuff.
it's and if that's something that you're hard fast about, which is not drinking, which is all fun, and you're
Good on you,
yeah, and you're not preachy, so to speak, about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew some people that were very against things, but they wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah.
And that's the same as being somebody who's for something who won't shut up about trying to get you into it, right? Like me saying, "Come on, Brett, drink. Come on, Brett, drink. Come on, Brett, drink," is the same as
Like you said earlier in the conversation, fuck that guy.
yeah, it is the same sort of thing. As, I can't believe you do that. Why do you do that?
Yep.
Blah 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 blah. And you're not like that, which is cool
Yeah.
because otherwise I'd no I'm kidding.
I mean,
But-
there was a point in my life where I wasn't like, anti everything. I was like, oh man, you're smoking weed. Not a fan of that.
Yeah.
And I had my
Reservations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But now, like, I still don't care for it. Like, I don't care. I don't think it's good that you smoke weed. I don't think it's good you smoke cigarettes. I don't think it's good you drink or this or that, the other thing. But ultimately,
Is that going to keep me from being your friend?
no, not even that. I can't make that choice for you. Nor can I be that person that's...
Mm.
Because why would... I don't want people doing that to me.
Right.
So I can't.
Yeah.
No, that's not fair of me to say, oh, what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
If you're gonna...
Right. So long as they're not say blowing the smoke in your face
Right. No,
Or-
if they're being an asshole about it,
or
then...
pouring shots into your water and you being like,
Yeah,
your
here's
vodka,
a water.
your vodka and water thing. You know what I mean?
no.
Like, but people I hang out with,
Quite honestly,
You know,
man, it tastes like nail polish, so you're not
they-
missing much.
vodka. Yeah, vodka's.
No, just all alcohol in general.
I've only had
other
a
than
person
beer.
hand me a
It
drink
depends.
once, and I poured it out.
It depends.
Rum is sweet.
Um,
You're right.
Yeah,
I like
but like that's neither here nor there. Like I mean, I feel like back in the day when we were in high school, people were like, "Oh, you don't drink underage when you're 16 years old." How
no,
dare
because it's kind
you?"
of against the law.
Right, but it's like there's a party at Jason's. I don't know anybody named Jason. There's a party at Jason's house, and we got so fucked up and blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, you're like 17. You have a test in like algebra 2 tomorrow. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But now it's like, if somebody is going to be that person that's going to be like, why don't you drink? Blah 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 blah. Oh, you're so lame. At whatever age we all are, right?
Yep.
They're not gonna change that. So whereas so there's a comfort zone limit. It's like it's also just there's people being pushed out of the comfort zone by other people by situations, and then there's just people trying to do that to be assholes, right? And it's like you gotta draw that line a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Or if we go even deeper into the rabbit hole, there are people that are struggling with something, and it's like, I'm going through this, and I'm ruining my life, so I want you to ruin your life with me, so I'm not alone. Like, there's even
that's
that.
Not,
there's
not
even
cool
that.
either.
Yeah, that's even
Or
worse.
people that refuse the help when you're trying to give it to them, they rather take you down than
with them, yeah.
than you try to bring them up.
And those are the people you gotta cut, to be honest.
You cut me fat. Mm-hmm.
Fight the power.
The one thing that I learned when I was in college, and I learned a lot from college football, more than I learned actually from college classes. I learned how to be a man. I learned a lot of character from football, and a lot of it had to do with like there are people in your lives that will be cancerous. Like he talked to me, like my coach talked to me. He's like, listen, your friends back home, they're your friends. I hadn't met Brett at that time, so I didn't know Brett. But he said, your friends back home, yeah, they're your friends, but they're cancerous. And I kind of looked at him and was like, what does that mean? I was like, what does he mean by that? And he goes, listen, you have an opportunity to play football here. You have an opportunity to, at least have 15 grand to your name so that you can, go to school for free. Technically, almost. And it's kind of like, you've got a point there. It's like, so you go home, you go back to your friends, it's like, oh, let's get smashed, just like John was saying, it's like, oh, let's get messed up, and it's kind of like, you're going to ruin all that. You're going to ruin a scholarship. You're going to ruin a chance to play football for one night. And that is cancerous because they don't care about your opportunity because they don't have that opportunity. If they're your true friends, they won't put you in that situation.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily their goal either.
That's what he was saying, but he said those are the situations you have to be careful.
I think
about.
he's just saying be smart about it.
Yeah,
because I mean,
that was his end. That was his end topic.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, be careful who you hang out with. Be careful what you do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Read the situation. If they're gonna go do something, 9 times out of 10, like they're not thinking about your future. They're not thinking about what is on the line for you because they're not in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. They're not going through it with you. They're back at home dealing with what they're dealing with. And like when you go back to school, like right now, Billy, we have no idea what Billy's really doing right now.
He kicked some ass today in his tournament. Good on you, boy.
Yeah,
I don't know. He won one fight. I don't know if he won.
But here's the thing: if Billy came home, and if I was to influence him, which I would never do it,
I would.
But if I was to influence him to smoke weed every day, just like ruin his complete opportunity to be he has a scholarship for Taekwondo, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, if he had a scholarship for Taekwondo, and I did something that jeopardized that, or influenced him to do that to jeopardize him to do that, like I'm here. Like, I'm not thinking about, like, when he goes back to school. I mean, honestly, I do. But that's just me, because I care about Billy. But if, like, I was just more of an average Joe, like, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Go, Billy!
Yeah. Almost knocked a kid out today.
Yeah. We saw the picture of the reaction of everybody. They're like, oh!
Oh, shit, what is he doing?
Oh, wait. There is something I want to address real quick before we move any further.
Damn, okay.
John, Chick-fil-A open on Sunday?
No.
That's right, Pancake. It's not open on Sundays.
Praise the Lord. But yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, this was a super hashtag real talk. It was. Thank you for your topic, Rainbow. That definitely took quite a bit of time, but that was good.
Yep.
It kind of turned into like social hour. Like, how do we deal with social situations? But I mean, if that's what we're
Rainbow goes
about,
wait.
then,
Rainbow says wait.
Wait, what? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Why are you saying wait, Rainbow?
What did they find in John's car? That's in the post show. That's in the post show. Don't worry about it. Moving on to topic 3.
What they find in Johnson? I still want to know too, Rainbow. I still want to know.
You don't want. You really.
You can't handle the truth.
Listen, it was enough for them to go. Bend
We
over,
have
sir.
to know, says Lady Killer Bunny.
It was enough
No.
for them to ask him to bend over.
No.